Hey there, Hofstra fans. Welcome to another episode of Blue and Gold Weekly. I'm your host, Kevin Dexter. What a week it was in Hofstra athletics, and what a weekend it was for the Hofstra men's soccer team. The Pride are off to the third round of the NCAA tournament thanks to perhaps the biggest win in Hofstra athletics history. Let's show you how they did it up at Vermont. The Pride taking on the defending national champions, undefeated #1 Catamounts in the snow. They were down 1-0 in the second half when they rallied. First, it was Pablo Hempelman Perez with the header that tied the game at 1. And just about 2 minutes later, Jan Jevic put them in front. His second goal of the season. Pride went up 2-1. After a late Vermont equalizer sent it to overtime, it was Laurie Goddard who came up clutch. The pass from Daniel Burko perfectly setting up Goddard for the golden goal, perhaps the biggest goal in Hofstra program history. Pride winning it 3-2 to move on to the third round for the second time in program history. What a game, what a win. I had a chance to catch up with the hero to talk about it, Laurie Goddard. The hero of Hofstra's big win over the weekend at Vermont, Laurie Goddard. Laurie, thanks for a few minutes. I'm sure moments like that are what you dreamed of as a kid, right? Scoring the golden goal in a big playoff game. What have the emotions been like from that and these last couple days?
Yeah, so many amazing emotions, to be honest. When it happened, it was kind of a bit of a blur. Even now looking back, I can't really remember how I exactly felt in the moment, but just everything about it, winning in golden goal, knowing that goal won us the game, beating Vermont obviously after the history last year, having like the travelling fans there and having that little section in the crowd, all of it kind of like came together perfectly. So it was an unbelievable moment, yeah.
Well, take me through the game where you guys are obviously down at half, you come back, you score the 2 quick goals, and then they tie it late. What was the roller coaster of just kind of going through and settling back down to be able to come away with a winner?
Yeah, I feel like we started off well, and then they scored a set piece, which we had been working on, but we know they're very good at. So it was a bit frustrating, and then obviously we came out of the second half flying, scored 2 great goals. But we know that they're a team that they love to score last-minute goals, and it's kind of been a theme for them over the last couple of years. So, like we were saying, like, come on, last 10 minutes, we know they're going to be throwing everything at us. Let's try and stop them the best we can. Unfortunately, they scored the goal, but we didn't really drop our heads too much. We came in after the 90 minutes thinking, we want to go and get the goal to finish the game, and then when that goal went in. It was just pure elation, like everything the whole game, going down, going up, having it tied, being away, then being the favourites. It was really like a roller coaster of emotions. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. How much was it in the back of your head what happened last year? Obviously, the roles were reversed. You guys were the higher seed. You were the favourites. They came here and ended your season. So how much was that in your mind?
Yeah, like before the game, probably a little bit. But then when the game starts, like you don't really think about those kind of things. I've played at that field a few times. I was there in summer as well against their USL2 team, Vermont Green, which I lost to. So for me, there was a lot of like personal vengeance to kind of get a win there, which, as I said, you don't really think about it during the game, but it definitely fuels you, I think subconsciously, just to naturally put a little bit more to get that little bit of revenge, yeah.
Well, going back, obviously you guys wanted to win the CAA, and you fall short of that, losing in the semifinals. Was there any sort of, positive wake-up call that was needed that this group had to be able to go on this run that you've now gone on?
Yeah, it was so unfortunate to lose that game against Stony Brook, and we were all gutted because that's the main focus of the season, is to go for the CAA, win that, and then try and go on a run in the Nationals. So when we lost that, it was kind of a bit of a wake-up call, and we all thought, well, if they let us in the national tournament, we're gonna try and stay in as long as possible, take every game, cherish every game. Me as a senior, every game now could be my last game at college. So losing against Stony Brook and not winning that really made me kind of value the importance of these games, and maybe that's given us the extra edge that we needed in the last 2 games.
Now, you mentioned that, and of course, I know it's been in your guys' heads all year, knowing this is Richie's last year, right? Yeah. You don't want to go out on a losing note. I'm sure it's not something you're thinking of during the game, but how much has that kind of rallied the group?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, seeing him after the game, dancing in the locker room, just celebrating on the field. Like, it's amazing to keep going, knowing that this is his last year and making all these special games and wins. Like, they're amazing moments that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. I'm sure Richie will as well. So it's just a really good thing. I think that we're doing it in his last year.
Well, obviously a lot of emotions. You guys are on a high right now, but there's still games to be played.
Exactly.
So how do you kind of celebrate this, right?
Yeah.
What you guys have accomplished, but also now focus on what's coming up ahead?
Yeah, like I said, it was an amazing game. So I think it is important to, celebrate it and enjoy it, because you don't win games like that every day. Like, they do come rarely. So I think it's important to value that. But then, we've got a game on Sunday against Furman, a very good team, which now when we start training again today, so now all the focus goes to them, and they're a ranked team. We're going away, so we're going to have to prove a lot of people wrong again, and I think that's what we play our best. So yeah, now all the focus shifts to them, and we're going to take each game as it comes. Hopefully we go and get a win on Sunday and then go from there.
Oh, we know this is a confident group, but can you feel the confidence level rising even more?
Yeah, I think it's confidence and belief. I think the line between confidence and overconfidence and thinking you're owed a win is quite a thin line. So we went into those last two games against Syracuse and Vermont thinking we know we can beat them, we know we're the better team, but we have to go and prove that. I think a bit of that came from, as you said, losing the CAA and not getting a home game or being ranked. We kind of had that chip on our shoulders, and then winning these two games has given us the belief that we can beat anyone on our day. So I think the belief in the team is really good now, and we just have to make sure that we bring all the same energy that we did against Vermont on Sunday to Furman.
I know you guys are just starting the prep for it, so you might not know everything about them yet, but what kind of challenge do you think Furman's going to present?
Yeah, I think they've lost one game all season. They won their conference, so they're a very good team, definitely. Other than that, I don't know too much about them, but it's the Sweet 16 in the national tournament, so every game now is going to be very tough, not just how good they are as a team, but everyone's going to be fighting for their lives, so I think that naturally just produces a tough game. So yeah, we'll be ready for it though.
Well, you mentioned the traveling party up there to Vermont.
Yeah.
Obviously the whole campus is rallying around you guys.
Yeah.
What's your message to the Hofstra faithful, for coming up this weekend?
But if anyone can get down to Furman, that would be great. But if not, we appreciate all the support. We see it on social media and everything like that, and it makes it more special for us to keep trying to win games. So yeah, thank you guys for the support.
I did see a few tweets say build the Laurie Goddard statue.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to talk to him about that after that goal.
Yeah, we'll see.
Quick last one, just what is the key to keeping this going? How do you guys keep this momentum rolling?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what I said about the energy of the team and going into the games with the right mentality. We know what we are as a team in terms of the playing style we like to play, the players that are going to play. So it's not too much to do with the football side of it right now in this point of the season. We know our identity, so it's just about making sure the preparation, I think specifically mentally for these games, is important. Going into these games, not thinking now because we've beat Vermont that we're the best team in the world and we're going to roll over anyone. That's not the case. We have to go against Furman and really show them and show everyone again why we deserve to win.
Well, Laurie, congratulations on the run so far. Good luck on Sunday. We'll be rooting for you guys.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks again to Laurie for a couple of minutes. So next up for the Pride in round 3, it is Furman. They head to South Carolina for a 1 o'clock start on Sunday. Well, Richard Nuttall and company weren't alone in having a successful weekend. The Hofstra Cross Country program has another All-American runner. Freddie Kipkoske continued his incredible run following his regional championship with a 38th place finish at the NCAA Division I championship, earning him All-America honors. He was one of 7 freshman All-Americans and the second All-American in program history, joining Alex Masai. Congratulations to Freddie. It was a tough end to a terrific season for the Hofstra volleyball team. They lost a 5-set heartbreaker to Campbell in the CAA championship match over the weekend, finishing the season 22-4. Isadora Stagely was named the CAA Player of the Year. Nina Gioshvili-Rava was named the CAA Setter of the Year. Those two joined on the All-CAA first team by Beatrice Braga, while Clara Ball was named to the All-CAA second team. Both basketball programs suffered close losses last week. The men lost to Temple 81-76. Cruz Davis led the way with 25 points. They returned to Philadelphia for the 2025 Cathedral Classic this weekend, taking on LaSalle, Merrimack, and Penn. And the Pride women lost 61-55 to Bucknell despite 16 points from Alarise Gooden. They'll head to Puerto Rico this week where they'll play number 7 Maryland as well as East Carolina. And the Hofstra wrestling team lost a dual match at Penn 35-8 before an 11th place finish at the Keystone Classic. Will Conlon placed 5th at 197 pounds while Jake Slotnick finished 8th at 165. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Blue and Gold Weekly. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and go Pride.